Eyewitness News this morning reporting that the ANC's National Executive Committee is not happy with Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan's report on the state of our public enterprises. It claims that he's been asked to give more detailed information, basically redo and resubmit, if you will, a report on the state of state-owned enterprises. Let's talk further about this with Northwest University Political Studies lecturer Sysman Motloung. A very good evening to you, Sysman. Good to have your time. Is this a sign that the ANC, or at least the NEC, is taking seriously reports, especially that Minister Gordhan is part of the problem when it comes to fixing state-owned enterprises?
Tembegile, I think it is not necessarily, in my view, it's not necessarily that the NEC starts to be serious now about what people they have deployed in government or their delegates in government are doing. One should understand that the NEC is a high-level platform, and those that are reporting to it should present a proper picture in terms of the status quo or the state of affairs in our public sector. So they as a governing party would make an informed decision. Then for me, it is an insult if anyone would come there and bring them a very watered-down report whereby now these people who should be providing oversight over a governing party have to get information from hearsay, from the news. It is really disappointing in that sense.
But has
Therefore,
this action,
good for me.
Sysman, has the action not come too late, though? Because state-owned enterprises have been in crisis for many years, especially when you look at an entity such as Eskom. We've had boards and CEOs come and go, yet not much improvement is being recorded. Now we're seeing the resignation of its chairperson, Mpoma in recent days. At Transnet, there have also been several resignations there as well, including CEO Portia Derby.
Yeah, on that part, many would agree with you that the SOEs have been collapsing. Really, they're underperforming over a period of years. You could even look about 3-4 years back. Mr. Gordhan has always been put into public platforms where the public is saying, why is he remaining in leadership, especially leadership of SOEs? And this has built that sentiment that he is somebody who is untouchable, particularly also looking into Eskom. I think a year ago, the president also protected him when the EFF was calling him to account. Therefore, this is late, yes, because many have been calling for him to step down because he seems to be incompetent. In my view, he seems to be a person who has survived the most in the leadership and under a report, a performance of incompetence.
Interesting that you say President Ramaphosa has protected Gordhan, because it's been among the long-standing criticisms of the president in the situation around SOEs. In fact, in its reporting today, EWN says there was some suggestion from the NEC that the electricity minister, Ramaphosa, be given access, if you will, to the Eskom board. President Ramaphosa saying, well, he needs more time, or more time should be given to deliberations around that, perhaps giving more powers to the electricity minister in order to facilitate that relationship between him and the Eskom board. Is it, from the president's side, asking for more time for deliberations, a sign that he's again protecting Minister Gordhan, or a president who wants to be circumspect and make the right call at the right time?
No, we should also understand the institutional configuration that is happening. There is a process of reconfiguring, or what government calls repurposing the departments, and that's one of SOEs, state enterprises, will have to be collapsed to some extent. I think this is the president not wanting to preempt or even make a decision that you'll have to undo later on when this repurposing of departments comes through. For me, it is him buying time. He's saying, allow us as government to complete that process of institutional realignment. And from there on, it will be clear what the Minister of Electricity has to do, and the likes of Gordhan, probably he will be suspended or recalled from government later on. I don't see this as Mr. Ramaphosa protecting Gordhan.
And the Public Enterprises Department, as we know, will be a thing of the past soon, in about a year or so, as per what's already been decided by the ANC in its resolutions in trying to sort out or better manage, if you will, state-owned enterprises. Do you think things will improve once that reconfiguration has improved? By that I mean, to what extent has the current model of having a department that's basically representing government as a shareholder, how much is that hamstrung, if you will, SOEs?
Yeah, this has really hamstrung SOEs. Look at ESCOM trying to appoint the executive, and the minister, Gordhan, here also telling the board what to do in terms of whom to give as a recommendation. We see the relationship between the shareholder and the agents in SOEs is really of that uneven power, where the politicians have a greater influence. Therefore, one could think that the politicians have really influenced how SOEs perform, and they have not really held SOEs accountable when there has been a problem, maybe in terms of HR, hiring people, or issues of competency, even on providing accountability as the shareholders themselves. Therefore, there is that dynamic that has to be looked into, and the NC over time has really neglected SOEs. For me, I think any improved performance of SOEs will be an improvement where we see private partners come through. In my view, most SOEs will go to that public-private partnership arrangement, as we see with ESCOM, where the private power producers are coming in. So it is something that I think that model is where will be going to if we are to see these SOEs being efficient.
Sysman Motloung, good to speak to you. Northwest University Political Studies lecturer. Good to have your time.